I don't want to make this a bouquet tossing contest, but I think the senator from North Dakota has really put his finger on it, because if you listen to how you described it, Senator, you talked about federal transparency. You talked about a federal backstop. And of course, a very strong role for the states, recognizing that there are differences. And when you look at the architecture of the environmental laws in particular, you see what the senator from North Dakota described all over the place. Essentially, these federal minimum standards, and then a wide berth for the states to kind of go do their thing. I was telling Senator Murkowski, so I came to the United States Senate in 1996, first new senator from Oregon in 30 years, had a full head of hair and rugged good looks and all that. And the first thing I voted for, which dismayed some of my supporters, was the Kempthorne Amendment, which in effect had what you all are talking about, a strong kind of transparency and backstop role, but then the states could go off and do their own thing. So I know that as we go back and forth on this, it looks like the gaps are just insurmountable. But particularly for you three souls that have been willing to stay here as we got up and came back and we got up and came back, I so appreciate the good faith in terms of desire to figure this out. And that's what Senator Murkowski and I are committed to. And I'll just make two last points and let my colleague have the last word. On this point with respect to confidence, Ms. Beinecke, which I think is central, one of the ideas that I have heard a lot of bipartisan interest in industry and environmental folks on is if we can have a strong disclosure program. A program, for example, where people are going to really understand ahead of time, for example, on fracking fluids and these kinds of things. I'm very interested in following up with you on that. And I think it's fair to say that there are a lot of people in industry who see this confidence issue as extraordinarily important as well, because there is tremendous concern. We're hearing about it from communities around the country. And if we can get some of these big elements right, like what the senator from North Dakota is talking about, how you can figure out have a strong disclosure program and maybe address some of the issues that Governor Hickenlooper brought up in connection with how you do it and addressing the various concerns, I think we're on our way. And the last point I'd make is the reason Senator Murkowski and I are putting so much time into this, and we thought together about what we ought to proceed on first, is this has the potential to be a real American success story, where in effect, if we work together, have all the stakeholders at the table, as you, Ms. Beinecke, said, and the senator from North Dakota has indicated to me he's more than open to, this has the potential to be an extraordinary success story, a story for the times, a American success story, and that's the objective we're going to take in the committee.